I had the great fortune of being in the audience on the night of the first Broadway preview of a new musical named Hadestown. The theater was buzzing with excitement. No one knew quite what to expect. The lights dimmed, and the magnetic André entered as Hermes, the messenger god, with enough swagger and charisma to fill every Broadway theater. I have never been more mesmerized. In the words of Rachel Chavkin, Hadestown's director, to watch André perform is to see a 5-act play contained in the descent of 2 steps. When we speak of theater royalty, we must view André as a king. In a career spanning 50 years, he has established himself as an unparalleled actor, dancer, director, and educator. His accomplishments and accolades are almost too many to list, but notably, Mr. DeShields is best known for his show-stopping performances in 5 legendary Broadway productions: The Wiz, Ain't Misbehavin', Play On, The Full Monty, and Hadestown. His innate talents, versatility, tenacity, and spirit make him the perfect person to inspire our students today as they leave here eager to pursue their own artistic pathways. I find it fitting that Mr. DeShields is currently playing Hermes, the messenger god. For me, his entire career is an example of artist as messenger god. He delivers a message of artistic excellence and precision. He is a physical storyteller who uses every aspect of his being to transmit information to the audience. He delivers a message of humanity. Every year, Mr. DeShields participates in numerous fundraisers dedicated to raising money to assist people living with HIV and their families. At each of these fundraisers, such as Broadway's annual Red Bucket Follies, he makes a point of telling the audience the reason he is there is that when loved ones were dying and they had no place to turn, it was Broadway Cares Equity Fights Age that helped keep them going. These appearances are his declaration of a love for a community that embraced him in his time of need. And finally, he delivers a message of resilience. We celebrate his 5 decades as a theater artist, and most recently, at the age of 73, the Tony Award for Best Performance by an Actor. His inspiring Tony acceptance speech contained the following advice: slowly is the fastest way to get to where you want to be. Thank you, Mr. DeShields, for your acceptance of this honor, and we welcome you as the newest member of the Boston Conservatory family.
By virtue of the authority vested in the trustees and faculty of Boston Conservatory at Berklee, and by the General Court and the Board of Regents of the Commonwealth of Massachusetts, I confer upon André DeShields the degree Doctor of Arts honoris causa.
Greetings, my young friends, and thank you for allowing me to participate with you in this most momentous occasion. Why momentous? Well, that begs the question. Why is this day different than any other day? You know the answer. Today is different because you now realize that on your journey, you have arrived at exactly the right place at the right time. Now, how do we know that? I'm going to mention this word only once. Coronavirus, which has brought us to a point that illustrates the leveling of the playing field. It reminds me of a quote from Elizabeth Barrett Browning, who wrote, "Earth is crammed with heaven." Now, if Earth is crammed with heaven, and we have finally arrived at a level playing field, who is going to show to humanity those places to discover where Earth is crammed with heaven, if not you, who have arrived at this intersection between human history and human evolution at exactly the same time when we are in most need of empathy, compassion, leadership, and purpose. It reminds me of a quote from the writer Khalil Gibran. He wrote, "I slept and dreamed that life was joy. I woke and saw that life was service. I served and saw that service is joy." And as artists, you understand that first and foremost, we must serve. Because this is what humanity needs, service. People will not articulate it particularly this way, but you and I understand that humanity needs answers to their questions. Humanity needs resolution for their crises. They need their burdens to be lifted. They need their yokes to be broken. And who is better prepared to do that than the artist, whose purpose in life is to heal? We must be beacons for those who are now acting in panic and reacting in fear. That is not our direction. That is not our journey. That is not your goal. William Shakespeare would say, now is the time to screw your courage to the sticking post. And Thornton Wilder would remind us that there are some things we all know, but we don't take them out and look at them very often. We all know that something is eternal, and it ain't houses, and it ain't names, and it ain't earth, and it ain't even the stars. Everybody knows in their bones that something is eternal. And that something has to do with human beings. All the greatest people that have ever lived have been telling us that for 5,000 years. But you'd be surprised how people are always losing hold of it. There is something way down deep that is eternal about every human being. That is our intellectual, emotional, and spiritual constitution as artists. This is what I want to leave with you, because I don't give advice. But just as since 9/11 we have used this phrase, if you see something, say something, I believe if you know something, share something. I came of age during the summers of love, 1967, 68, 69. And during that same time, I did my first professional show. It was Hair. And we, who are unreconstituted hippies in our hearts, were singing about the dawning of the age of Aquarius. I can now tell you that we have reached the threshold of the age of Aquarius, when peace will guide the planets and love will steer the stars. If you embrace your responsibility to be the beacons of the new earth, which we must all build together. This is what I know. If you believe within your heart, you know that no one can change. The path that you must go. Believe what you feel and know you're right, because the time has come around when you say it's yours. Believe there's a reason to be. Believe you can make time stand still. And know from the moment you try, if you believe, I know you will. Believe in yourself right from the start. Believe in the magic inside your heart. Believe all these things, not because I told you to, but believe in yourself. You must believe in yourself. Please believe in yourself as I believe in you. Congratulations. Enter the playing field. Save us.